Hey everyone, so today I went to the grocery store and I was surprised how much prices are going up. So I'm going to share some things that I do to help myself. And these are things that I learned from my grandmother in Zimbabwe. They're not things that are new, but they might help you. So what I do is when I always buy one extra of what I need. I don't stockpile, I don't hoard things. But if I'm buying coffee, I always make sure I have one extra in my pantry. The same with the tea, the same with tinned foods. So prices of things are going up now in the world generally, especially with trade wars and tariffs. So some of the things that I would recommend for my friends and family, I buy tuna and salmon, the tins. I buy tins of chicken. You can get the chicken salads, or you can get just the regular chicken. I buy tins of mince, so like they call it chili here. I buy tins of that. And I don't buy everything all at once. So like now I have salmon, I won't buy fish for a while. I also buy, for me I like the almond butter because it's healthier for me. So I buy a small bottle of that. You can also buy peanut butter. If you get hungry, peanut butter is filling. So you can have peanut butter and jam. They call it jelly in America, sandwiches. I keep eggs on hand because it's easy to make a quiche or to make something quickly using eggs. So I always buy one full tray of eggs and I keep them. And then powdered milk. Powdered milk lasts a long time. If you don't like powdered milk, you can also buy condensed milk. I buy rice. So right now I'm using my last packet of rice. So the next time I go shopping, I'll buy an extra packet of rice to keep so that when that is finished, I can open the new packet. The same with pastas. I keep one extra packet of pasta and ketchup or tomato paste because you can use that with your pasta dishes. And cooking oil. I always keep one extra bottle of cooking oil. And if you bake like me, extra sugar, flour, and milk. So when I buy my milk, I buy the 3 packets of milk. And then I freeze 2 packets and I keep 1 out. And that's how I save money on my groceries. And these are not things that I learned here. These are things that I learned in Zimbabwe or Rhodesia growing up, because often you couldn't get products or prices were going up all the time. The same thing with toilet paper. I always keep 1 extra packet of toilet paper on hand. So those are just some tips that I would give to people, especially like if you're coming here from Zimbabwe, Nigeria, South Africa, you might think, oh, you know what, I can always go to the store and pick it up. And yes, that's true. But when we have tariffs like now, when we have rising food prices, we have rising unemployment, at least you know that you've got food. You don't want to be food insecure and also be looking for work and stressed. I don't buy chocolates and things. I buy a chocolate once in a while. And even I like to bake, so I don't buy cakes and that often. But once in a while I do. And also chocolate for me, if you're trying to lose weight, I don't keep it around because obviously I'm going to eat it. I'm not a sugar fanatic, so the sugar can be there. It doesn't bother me. I also keep an extra bottle of honey. So I have 2 big bottles of honey that one I'm using because I use honey in my coffee and teas, in my cereals. I keep oats because oats is good, especially in the winter. I have oats that I use for my porridge and cereals that I keep. And when I store my things, if I can, I put them into glass bottles. Again, this is something my grandmother taught us. She taught me when I was at home. Because if you keep things in glass bottles, like your rice, your flour, things like that, they won't go off as quickly. And I don't buy too much because obviously foods expire. And you don't want to have things sitting in your cupboard and then you'll end up throwing them away. So that's what I do. I also don't keep a lot of extra, like the almond butter or peanut butter, because one little tin or one little tub can last me a long time. But I thought I'd share that with you. And it's also a good way to honor our grandmothers, even with like detergent, washing detergent, softeners. We always kept one extra in the house, and that's something my grandmother taught us. So I thought I would share that with you because I watch what other people are doing, and I'm thinking this is not anything new. For those of us who grew up in Zimbabwe, it's like it's something new for the Americans and Canadians because they're so used to having everything available all the time and they're used to the convenience. But those of us who grew up in Africa, we don't think the same way. So now that they're having to deal with some of the things that we had to deal with growing up, they're also learning and they're calling it food prep. But that's what we grew up with. Also, because of power cuts, it's a good idea to keep like a solar torch that you can use and a solar radio so you can at least get some news. If the internet goes out, many of us rely on the internet for our TV, streaming, for everything. So if you have a little radio that you can turn on to get the news, that helps as well. I thought I'd share that because I'm in an apartment. I'm obviously not going to buy a big generator for when the power cuts. But people who are in houses have the advantage because they can buy a generator that can keep their fridge, their lights and everything working. For me, I can't. So like when we had our ice storm, when the power went out, I just literally had no power. And there was nothing I could do. Thankfully, I had bought extra blankets, so I put those on my bed, and I had kept tin foods. But even if you get like a little primer stove and you keep extra tins of the gas that you need to use it, a picnic bag, things like that, they'll come in handy. Because the reality is that we're dealing with the same things now that we grew up with in Zimbabwe. So if you can save money somewhere, why not do it? Because prices are just going to keep going up. That's the reality. And for many of us, we're either unemployed or we're stuck in wages that are not living wages. So anything we can save helps. And if you look at those Amazon products or any prepper products that they're selling, they cost a fortune. They really do cost a lot. So you can beat up eggs, you can freeze them in packets if you have a big fridge. You can buy a little extra of things that won't go off so that you don't have to buy things like that. If you buy lentils like the red lentils or the yellow lentils, you can make a nice curry. So those are just suggestions. And also don't listen to them when they tell you that your wisdom is not relevant to Canada, because at the end of the day, they think they know better than us, but it may not necessarily be the case. So I thought I'd share those for my friends because it's quite surprising. The cost of things is really going up very quickly.